I'm Tyson with Adventure Rig, and if you find yourself traveling to remote areas or you have a need to stay in touch with friends and family, a great device to have along with you is the DeLorme inReach Explorer. Now, Callie and I recently took this down to Mexico on our motorcycles, and this device is the only reason that Callie's parents were able to sleep at night. They were able to text us along the trip as well as find out exactly where we were at any point. Now, with the Explorer, you also get the navigation. It's a really great feature. You can get on a computer, you can plan your trip and your route with waypoints. It's actually very easy to use, a lot easier than other programs that I've used that are dedicated just to mapping and GPS. Now, like I said earlier, you can text from this device. It's actually really convenient. It comes up with a keyboard on the screen that you can go through the whole alphabet to send text messages. Now, what they've done that is also really handy is they have an app so that you can actually text from your phone like you would normally. So it's a lot easier to use and a lot faster. You can also receive text messages on your cell phone the same way. Now, with this, you can post to social media. So if you find that you're out hiking a 14er or you're canoeing or anything like that and you want to suddenly post something to social media, you can do that through the inReach Explorer. Like I said, it also has navigation features on it, so if you've planned a route, you can follow that route through the Explorer. One thing is, you don't have topographic maps or any kind of maps on the screen. It just shows a white background. That's one disadvantage that I didn't like about it. However, you can download all your topographic maps and your street maps on your cell phone through an app. So if you really want that feature, you can definitely have it with your cell phone. It's just that now you're gonna have to use two different devices. I'm hoping that something in the future is maybe they will do an all-in GPS that you can do topographic maps, street maps, all of that kind of stuff in the Explorer unit, which I think would be really handy. Although you do have basic navigation features and it's easy enough to use. I found that it was extremely accurate. Anywhere that we went in Mexico, Callie's parents could actually zoom in exactly where we were, and they could see that we were camping next to tennis courts at one point. Mexico's a little different. Their campgrounds are kind of odd, but we were literally camping right next to tennis courts, and they could see that on their computer screen. Now, with other devices that I've used that have SOS and tracking features, I've actually had issues with them trying to track exactly where I am, to the point where it's been a mile or two or three off of where we actually are. Where that's going to come into play is if you have an emergency and you send out an SOS, well, the rescuers aren't going to know where you're really at if they're following the device and it's 3 miles off of where you actually are. They're going to have a hard time finding you. With this, I never had any kind of an issue of it having a problem finding where we were or tracking the exact points that we were at. Very handy. Like I said, we used it in Mexico as well as the US. We never had a problem across the border with it. It worked just as well down there as it did in the United States. It's very light, small and compact. It has a nice clip on the back if you wanted to clip it onto a belt or anything like that. They also make a lot of different mounts for these. So if you wanted to put it on handlebars of a bicycle or a motorcycle, you can go ahead and do that very easily. Now, one thing is that they have a lot of different subscription plans for the Explorer. Some of them are a lot more expensive than others depending on how much you're going to use it and what kind of features you want to use with it. If you're looking to get into something a little bit less expensive, they do make the SE, which does not have the navigation feature. Nice thing about it is you can still send and receive text messages. It's still the SOS tracking device. It's just a little bit cheaper without the navigation, and the subscription plans are also a little bit cheaper. If you guys have any specific questions on the inReach, please be sure to leave comments below and we'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. I'm Tyson with Adventure Rig.